So today I'm going to be changing a SMC on a MacBook Air board. We've streamed on this board before. Um, this is a 820000165. Doesn't see the battery. Maybe a battery issue, but water got on the SMC, so I'm guessing it's the SMC. Well, not guessing. I'm pretty confident it is the SMC, but there is a chance that it will be a bad battery. So I'm gonna go ahead and change the SMC here. And another thing, ISLs, even though we already changed it, the ISL can mess up the SMC. So we're going to change it again because we don't want to have somehow the SMC damage the new ISL, then the ISL damage the new SMC. So we're going to change it just to be on the safe side. It's not required, but I'd rather have to only change one SMC today. So go ahead and do that. I'm going to pull the SMC, change the SMC first, then we'll do the ISL, or we do the ISL first. So I'm just going to start. Sorry about no microscope view. We'll have one soon, but right now I don't. I'm debating whether on even upgrading this microscope in the future, because if I do, that would mean I have no working distance practically. So let me see if I have sound here. I have no idea if I do. Yes, it appears I do have sound, so okay, so I'm going to go ahead and change the ISL first. That's the easiest thing to do. So some flux around it. I'm going to try and use the old solder. Should be just fine. So I'm going to grab a new ISL. I'm getting low here. I only have like 3 left. I need to order more. Put this aside. Change my nozzle. I don't want the biggest nozzle. I don't want to go max air. I'll go about 80% air and 415. Grab tweezers. Hopefully I don't set off the smoke detector this time. Looks like we have pretty good solder. We could reuse the solder that's here. Gotta touch up a few things. So we already changed it. There's already leaded solder on the pad, so we don't really need to wick those pads and put new solder on. So I just want to do a little touching up here. just to be on the safe side. We're glad to get a new cartridge style iron. It tends to like to get stuck on the pads, which is not fun. It doesn't have the thermal mass for ground pads. It just doesn't seem to like them very much at all. So grab our new chip, put some flux down. And when soldering chips, always turn your air way down because you do not want to blow it away. I need my other tip. I've been using my J-tip instead of my bevel tip, and it does not compare. I need my bevel tip. Hi, Q's Tech. How you doing? Yeah, I tried J-tip, but I like my bevel tip better. It just does a better job. Smaller too. And after we finish this ISL, we will, yeah, I'm using the MacBook to stream. I put changed the silver-based thermal paste to ceramic-based, and the temps are much better. Yeah, this bevel tip is nice, so much better. See, the bevel tip does and the J-tip can't is it you run it along the pins and you kind of feel them. I know the smaller J-tips you can, but not on the big one that I'm using, so. So that looks pretty good. Now the SMC. This is going to be fun. I want my big air nozzle. I'm going to try and avoid setting off my smoke alarm. But I have a brand new, supposedly pre-programmed chip from China. May not be good, I really have no idea. But before then, here you go, Ultrasonic. Let me know how you like it. I am going to go ahead and share this link on the MacBook group so more people can watch it if they want. So give me just 1 second and then we will change the SMC. Okay, we're back. QStack, the repair group, give you a link to it. And hi, Alan, how are you? Let's see. And here's your link. I'm the group owner and admin, so I'll approve you after I'm done. Yeah, screen replacements, I don't like doing them. So SMC removal, max air for sure. It's usually not a fun job, but you gotta do it. But we're gonna preheat the board. We don't want to move in and just burn it, so just preheating it from far away. Take note of the orientation as well. You don't want to put it on the wrong way, that would not be good. So here's our bad chip. Now what do we have to do, because this is micro PVA, we have to wick those pads really well. So I'm just inspecting, making sure I didn't tear anyone, so I'm going to put some flux in the area, put fresh solder on these pads so you can wick it a little easier. If you just wick leaded, it just doesn't wick well. You could rip them, so I always put leaded solder. Just makes it a ton easier on you. And this chip, you know, I like this chip to sit flat. I don't want to just mop up the old solder with my iron. I always like putting fresh solder. Just do what works for you. If one way works for you, go ahead. If the other way doesn't, well, just do what works. Looks pretty good. In this case, I'm going to use a larger braid wick. It's MG Chemicals. It's 2.5 millimeters, so it's fairly large. It's fairly wide. So but it'll make it easier on you again. So here's one thing: do not press on your iron. Drag the wick and not the iron. If you do that, you will rip pads. And I mean, if you just use the iron, you will rip pads, and you do not want to run wires into the SMC. That is not fun at all. So just lightly move your iron, or move your wick mainly, just very, very lightly. Running wires into the SMC is not fun, and you do not want to do it. So push very lightly. So just make these pads nice and flat, clean up all the old solder, and then we can add our new solder. Pretty clean, so I'm going to clean this with alcohol and a Q-tip, since now we have that nice and clean. Let's see, I need to get more Q-tips on out. So here's my alcohol. So I'm just going to put a good amount of alcohol down. I use Tech Spray. It's okay. I kind of like MG better. Tech Spray doesn't fray out as bad, but Tech Spray does a better job of getting all the solder mopped up. These are some clean pads now. Okay. Good work. Yeah, I've been wanting to try it. So I'm drying all the alcohol. We do not want alcohol and flux mixed. That would probably not give us a good solder joint. So, flux. A lot of flux. Well, don't use too much, but you want a good amount. We're working with lead-free on this SMC too. It's pre-balled. It's a brand factory new chip from China on the reel. So, supposedly programmed, so maybe someone took a reel from the factory and sold it. I have no idea, but I'm just getting a amount of flux on these pads. Grab the chip. It's a brand, like I said, brand new. May not be programmed, maybe just seller trying to make money. I don't know, we'll find out. My guess is it came from someone, I don't know how they get them. We'll never know how the Chinese sellers get stuff like this. No. So this chip has no markings on it or anything on the board, so it's kind of hard to line up, but we'll get it. Another thing about this chip to note is it takes a ton of heat, so do not worry about burning it. You will not burn it. Well, to rephrase that, you could burn it if you really, really don't don't know how to solder. But, you know, like Lewis always despises changing SMCs. For me, it's not that hard. It's not the easiest part to change on the board. And remember, when you're putting the new one in, preheat a little bit until the flux is burned away from that chip, or else you'll just burn it. That's one way you can burn it. So preheat from about an inch away and watch me set off my smoke detector. If the smoke detector goes off, I will ignore it. Oh, come on, you go back. It's soldering these things. Okay, the chip slid away. So that means we need to turn our air down even more. So now the board's nice and hot, but our SMC slid away. So we're going to try and get it back. This is another way I do not like soldering these things at all. This may not even work. This may be a complete fake chip. We have no idea. No way of knowing. So what I want to do is melt the solder a little bit, and then we'll go back over more flux, reflow it again. But I want the solder to melt. At least so some pads will be tacked down so it won't run away from me. So come on. Not quite. Okay. So it's not completely down on the pad yet. There's a couple. I think it's hard to tell. The dog invaded. Yes, the dog did invade. So chip is sideways, so we're going to put more flux around it now. But now it is ultimately ready to be flowed into place. Now we're going to turn up our air. Well, yeah, I use a sprayer. I like it better. So hopefully this works and hopefully I don't mess it up. It's off quite a bit. Come on, you stupid thing. There we go. Come on, go on your pads. There we go. Okay. So I believe it is soldered. I'm going to check it a little bit more. Let me look here. I cannot tell. I guess we'll just see if it works. So it's way too hot to turn on now. Yeah, mine kind of raises up a little bit too, not bad. I'll give you a link in a minute once I finish this nonsense. So I can't tell if it's really in place. We'll see once we start it. It may not be in place. I want to just clean a little bit, cool it. This board's still too hot to turn on. I don't think it's in place. Is it in place? I could not even tell. I wouldn't put it past me that this chip is a fake. No. Looks okay. If it always doesn't work, we'll go back over it and just board's cooled down enough. Okay, here goes nothing. The fan probably will not spin, but we'll see. Nope, no fan spin. Okay. Let's reflow it again, I guess. Looks like it may be off a little bit. Yeah, we'll reflow it again. Like I said, this chip may not even have programming on it, so. So more flux. Remember, your SMC is tough. It could take this heat. So we're going to surround it with a ton of flux to help solder flow when we reflow it. I'm going to turn up my air. And the smoke detector will probably go off. I'm going to move the hose in a little bit more. Now it shouldn't go off because I moved the hose really close to it. So again, we start from far away. Wait till that flux is burned away. Come on. Okay, so it's starting to dance. I think it's fully in place now. I saw it jump. Okay. So it looked like maybe it wasn't in place all the way. It definitely is now. I saw it. I saw it move and start to dance, and our smoke detector did not go off. I moved it up really close, so now I'm going to move it back and have a look. This board is just scalding. Yeah, that's in place now for sure. So I'm going to put this on the air filter fan here and cool it off, because that board is scalding hot. So, and I will get you the link to this mat. Yeah, I got it a long time ago. Just go on Amazon. There's plenty. Let me see. Here it is. So here's the link to that mat. So I'm just waiting for that board to cool down, because it is very, very hot. Let's see. Okay. Cool down now. And let's see. This may not work. Don't know what we're getting, if we're getting fake stuff. Still nothing. Okay. So let's see. Good luck getting a return on this one. Volts, what do we have on PP Best G3 Hot? .23 volts on, almost want to say the SMC is still not. It looks soldered really well. Ah, no, it's not. It's like leaning. It's weird. Look. Ah, no, it is not soldered. Not even close. Yeah, this needs, it's like when it went down. Again, this is why I don't like working with lead-free, especially in an SMC. One corner is sticking up. Just strange. Unless the SMC warped from heat. That's really, it does not happen that often with these chips. So we'll do it again, and Yeah, no, it is lead free. This is why I wish I had a microscope view, but it's like it's not sitting flat on the board, so it could have warped, but it's not likely on this. You'd need a lot of heat to warp this chip. Yeah, 24-hour turnaround. I've had water damage same day, you know. Comes in FedEx at 10 a.m., fix it, back to FedEx at 12. Let's try that. Let's look at it for it. That looks better. There, that looks like how I want to see it. Now, yeah, I don't want to start this. I'm just saying I don't need to wait for it to cool down. But yeah, I do. The chip doesn't look really warped, but it looks soldered now. Let's see. All this for a chip that may be fake. Well, I think it'll work. Okay. Yeah, house calls, that's not going to work for me. No, without taking my fume extractor. Still no fan spin. I think this chip I got was a fake. It's only pulling 0.4 amps too. So lesson learned, do not buy from pre-programmed SMCs from someone on eBay that $8 volts on PP bus G3 hot. Yeah. This is a fake chip, probably. Oh well. It's definitely soldered properly, I could see it. So yeah, this was a fake chip. you know, it came from the reel, and it was clearly from the factory. Yeah, see, the thing is, I didn't really feel like reballing it, so I decided to try this other listing. They were on the reel, and it probably does not have programming on it. It was probably, you know, a fake chip. So on top of that, I'd be done for the day. And yeah, I bought a SMC from eBay, and it had supposedly programming. It was on a reel, and it was probably just a chip without being programmed. That's what it appears like, anyway. So on top of that, I'm done for the day, and I'll have to probably file a claim. The chip was 20, so I'll file a claim for that. You know, I'm gonna try a few more things. I'm gonna lift it, reball it, and try again just in case something went wrong. But on top of that, I'm pretty sure it's a chip that was not programmed. So, oh well on that. So, thank you all for watching, and see you next time.